posted a recent video about BC assessment data and its impact on your taxes, and it's brought up a lot of questions about disputing your BC assessment value. I hear about this a lot this time of year. Everyone's talking about it being too high and they want to argue it lower, and I get it, but I wanted to just provide a different set of eyes on that and give you a little more food for thought. You can successfully petition your value, and there's a bunch of strategies for that. Totally different video, and you can probably find that video or that information elsewhere. What I wanted to point out is that I'm not sure it's a good idea for most of us, and I'll explain. So if you're planning on moving at some point in the future, whether that's 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, but let's go with the shorter term. Let's think 5 years. If you're going to sell your home in the next 5 years, arguing your BC assessment lower could actually work against you. Here's why. Despite logically BC assessment data being a horrible indication of value, if you follow my content, you know that I'm regularly saying do not make decisions around, do not make financial decisions around your BC assessment value. Despite that, the public put some weight on these. And if you look at what it actually, let's say your assessment came in at $850,000 and your house is actually worth $800,000. Do the math on it with the mill rate. You can figure out the numbers for your jurisdiction, figure out how much that's going to save you every year. I bet you it's less than $100. In most cases, it's $100 or less per year for the change in the assessment value. Now, when you go to sell it, that higher value, that maybe slightly higher value, could actually earn you an extra 10 grand, 15 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand if the purchaser is letting that influence their opinion of value. And if your assessment is higher than market value, it could work in your benefit. So what you're going to save for arguing it down versus what you're going to gain when you go to market with it higher in terms of misconceptions around its impact on value. If it were me, the only time I'd argue my assessed value is if I was planning on living that home forever. Then sure, it's going to add up over time. Let's get it as low as we can. But if you plan on selling it, I'd probably just let it ride. Hope you found that useful.